Stargirl, Series 2, Episode 2, titled Summer Storm, Chapter 2. Now, this episode, you know what, while watching this episode, I felt like I reflected to last week's episode, where it just felt like they could easily cut these two episodes in half and merge it, and it would be a hell of a lot better episode. Because it felt like they had idea for 20 minutes and stretch it. Because in this, like last week, Courtney was all about, well, villains are on the loose and all that kind of stuff. We need to be ready and all that kind of stuff. And now she's like, this girl, this Jenny girl, you know, she says she's the daughter of Green Lantern. I don't know. It's a little bit, good to the truth. She's just so perfect and everything. First things first, I knew it was jealousy that, you're the daughter of a famous superhero. Well, I'm not. Well, I thought I was, and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? But I knew it was jealousy anyway. But it's all of that for an episode, and I'm like, and it's just repeating the same dialogue over and over again, and to the point I'm like, guys, you could have easily just like cut most of this episode. Most of this episode and cut a lot of last week's episode, merge it together, and it would be healing. It would make sense. It would be more better, and have things kind of flow more better story wise and narrative wise. Because yes, you got the stuff with Cindy and Eclipso but at this point, I don't know where that's going. Sure, she's obsessed with Christo, but that felt like very funny enough. Oh, just a society going and stuff, but it felt maybe too goofy at this point. But the whole Green Lantern side of things, like, yeah, it's cool that we're seeing a Green Lantern, and I'm like, Jeff Johns doing something Green Lantern. Oh, you don't say. And also, am I hearing Flashes also in this show, in this season? Oh, Jeff Johns once again doing Flash and Green Lantern. Oh, wow, that's a shocker because he likes to credit it. He will find a way. He will find a way to put those two bloody characters in everything. Anyway, everything he does. Why Flash didn't show up in Wonder Woman 1984? Are we not shocked? Anyway. It's a gag for comic book readers. Anyway, but it's fine. Like her backstory, you understand where she's coming from. We understand who, her personality is, and we have a sense of a little glimpse that, okay, the reason she wants to wing, not to become a superhero, but she wants to wing to find her brother. And like, okay, there's an emotional connection towards that. Her learning a contrast, which is kind of interesting because to be fair, I know Green Lantern from Hal Jordan onwards, not Alan Stark. But all I know is Alan Stark wouldn't. All he did was shoot green blasters. He never really did the full-on, Green Lantern, the whole construct, anything you create will just fall and flow into your head. I could be wrong here. I could literally be wrong. But, let's see, what else about this episode? Oh yeah, we got introduced to Shade, who is this is probably, like, season 1 had, like, the goofy comic booky type side of things. This one's very heavily in it because Shade is your British gentleman type villain who's evil, but he's also suave and gentleman. And it's like, well, I hope I know I'm serving your time. And you're like, okay. I know what kind of show we are. Like, at least the first season had a sense of verisimilitude, but and a little bit of groundedness with the goofiness. But Shade just comes across as way too goofy, even for this show. Because, the villains, Icicle last season was like the son, it was the son of one of the villains, and had a son that was going to Courtney's store and all that, and every character had like an emotional hook towards it. It just felt like they had ideas for it, and also a little bit of saving our budget. Even though we're saving our budget a bit. But, like, the staff only has like a 5-second scene, and that's it, and all that. It's just, this episode just felt like you could just cut half and half, really. And hopefully, while we're watching the rest of the season, it gets better, it improves, you get more character stuff. It just felt like, okay, you just watching a 20-minute swip into 40 minutes and it's just not clicking.